Hi, I'm back, part two. I want to cover about the Dawes Roads right now, and I will be giving a live feed on Indigenous history or just research general on how to and tips and what I did and a little bit more in depth by family. Now, I want to say this: the Dawes Road is a lie. And I know a lot of people be so happy to be registered and stuff like that, but it gets more deeper than that once you learn about your history, about your family. Okay, the reason I say that, it tells you that it's a lie when you look up the Campbell's 5 civilized tribes. They give you every breakdown of each one, and they have extensive index about why they did what they did, and they did it with the intent of deceit. The names they documented was lies. That you got to remember the name. Most of the majority of the names are colonizer names. Most Native Americans that end up with their own native name usually end up with at least one name, and you can tell that it's indigenous. Very few, and usually most of the time in the past, during the Dawes period, you would see maybe the great-great-grandparent with their native name, but most names are European names. Okay. The date of birth was not done right, or it was not documented. Date of deaths, partial name, partial where they're located, so it made it more complex. And they tell you that they did this. Now, the key point about all this was really behind the minerals of the earth, the land. It really was never about the Native American. When people realize it is more dead, and this is existing today, and it's embedded in our government history, and the state plays a big role to this, as well as federal. There's 3 sovereignty, federal, and state that we're dealing with. And when you talk about the Dawes is a fraud even for the freedmen side, because they tell you this picture, but it's not always true. Every family have their own history or their own story, and a lot of it is not documented properly. My family, for instance, I have an uncle. My grandfather's uncle, he was documented as a freedman, but in fact he was Native American. A lot of people don't know a lot of freedmen may have had mixed blood with other tribes that were Native Americans, not Africans. Is not to take away from Africans or slavery. A lot of that is a misconception about the whole history about the slavery and the Indians. Don't believe it unless you do law on Indigenous.